something at him.
Am I going to tell this on camera? I don't like to tell that story except to people that are in the business.
Oh,
I still
kinda
like
like
there's certain things I try to protect.
A magician never tells his tricks.
Bingo.
Exactly.
But I got to where I was pretty adept at, being able to throw fire out of nowhere. So, but I was always scared of it. I always respected the fire. And the Sheik, of course, he told me too. He said, "Jetty, I don't like the fire. I'm not crazy about the fire." And I like, oh my God. And he gets up and he's staggering around like he's on fire, right? And so it was the most embarrassing moment of my career, I think.
I didn't really work that hard on trying to ask you to do sort of a YouTube kind of vlog or a podcast. But before we start anything...
Wait a minute, it's not going to be a podcast.
Nah, not really a podcast. Okay. It's a King cast.
I like that.
I was gonna let him share.
I don't really like surprises usually.
You're gonna like this one. This is
that's a good
surprise.
Sneaking
up.
Female voice. Hi. Okay. Oh my gosh.
I think you needed
Look
that.
at that.
The
Cleveland Browns King's Crown. Oh, so beautiful. The dogs. That's so great.
And I kept it like.
And you made this, right?
Yes, sir, for you.
Wow.
Glad you like it.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding? I've never seen anything like it. This is awesome. Wait.
Do you?
Put the camera on the crown there. Keep it.
Okay.
There we go. Look at that.
Oh, I got a picture of that. I thought that was the one.
Oh my gosh, and my color is pretty much spot on with it.
Wow, look at that.
There you go.
Oh baby.
Nice. Kind of looks like a pigskin on the brown too.
That's perfect.
Don't give me any of that stuff, Banana Nose. I want that microphone over here because I got something to say.
Well, wait a minute.
Memphis wrestling is this man right here.
Oh,
These guys always ask, what in the world makes you think that Memphis is any different than any place else in wrestling? And it was a question that came up from the fans. What is it that makes people talk about Memphis wrestling? Because it was totally different in attitude and all. I'm not going to say that there wasn't some other guys that were dedicated to the business, but let me tell you, nobody had the dedication that these guys did.
But this is the honest to God's truth. I had to break up in my career 3 different fights. And every time that I had to try to break a fight up, I was naked.
Oh my God.
There's people hollering and screaming. I opened the door and boom, these 2 guys, they both had hands full of each other's hair.
But the big one, hair versus hair. All the hair will fall, man.
Reaching down and go, come on guys, come on, stop. And I'm bending over there, no clothes on at all, and I'm trying to pull these guys apart. Was Rip Rogers had the obvious upper hand on Randy Savage. Once again, like I said, this is the honest to goodness truth. All of a sudden, the wall right next to the mirror and the sink that I'm standing in front of, the wall bust out. Just boom. And it was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. And these guys were literally trying to tear each other apart. Once again, naked. I leaned down, and then the door bust open, and then comes about 10 other guys, in to try to, officials, the referees and all this stuff, try to break those guys up. I'm naked again. Let me go over here, and you guys handle this. I'll just be over here. 5 years old, that was the first time I realized that I could draw, that I could be an artist someday. The old George Reeves Superman TV show came on, black and white.
Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
And I, like all the rest of the kids in the world, were just mesmerized by Superman. It's the greatest thing ever. As a kid, I saw, gosh, this is what I want to do. I want to take my art and I want to draw Superman someday. All of a sudden I realized, wow, these wrestlers, they're like real life superheroes. I realized these Superman, Batman, they were in comic books, But these wrestlers, they're like real life, right? So I started drawing some pictures of wrestlers. If you look, I wear a Superman ring instead of my WWE Hall of Fame ring. One, because I feel like Superman got me started, and everything that has happened to me since then was a result of me being a fan of Superman as a little kid.
What is your one piece?
Well, right here is my,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is my coup de grace right here, the Batmobile. I mean, that thing is just, the coolest thing ever. Never in my life did I ever dream that I would actually own a Batmobile.
There was an incident on Raw where you guys said it was a cage match, right?
Yeah.
And there was blood in the match. And this was at the time, no one was allowed to bleed anymore. And I distinctly remember seeing Punk bleeding. I didn't know if that was something he took upon himself or you guys knew about that beforehand.
Punk was a guy that just always seemed sort of standoffish to me. John Moxley, never any kind of, there was never anything that was any kind of animosity or anything between us. But as far as, and then working in the ring, he was fine.
But how many have you seen wearing the King's crown? One. And that's me, Bruiser Brody. You're looking at the real King.
Was really laying this stuff in on Idol, right? And I swear with me, they were just fine, just like working with anybody else. Idol comes to me and he says, King, if you ever book that match again, I'll quit the business. He said, I don't mean quit this territory, I'll quit the business.
Jerry Lawler is the son of a jackass. He's a lover of chickens.
I mean, it was fine, and it got accomplished what we intended to do. I just, when I go back and watch it, I wish it had lasted a little longer, and I wish we had done a little more in the ring. I used to love to wrestle Terry Funk. People ask me all the time, who's your favorite opponent? And even though Bill Dundee comes to mind right off the bat, because we wrestle the most. I think Bill and I wrestle each other over 500 times. But Terry was the guy that I enjoyed wrestling against Terry Funk because he would not only entertain he would entertain his opponent. He entertained me by doing stuff that I was never expecting.
There are officials assigned to matches to try to keep some kind of order rather than have the animal type of thing that you saw here today.
Please, help me, please.
Okay, I'll go call for it.
God, Lance, please don't leave me here.
I'll get somebody.
Don't get somebody to help me, my eye. Where is that chicken? Where's that coward? Where's Lawler? He's yellow. Lawler's yellow. He's yellow. Lawler, come back here. You yellow pig! Pig!